Fuck no, this is something you expect Epstein to consume, not someone normal, but it seems like everyone's gonna start calling Lakari Epstein-Kari. Let me just emphasize that Epstein-Kari's decision to keep streaming after exposing himself with that the link was probably one of the worst decisions he could have ever made. Not only was he clearly stressed out, schizoing out, and trying to come up with some BS excuse like, oh guys, I've got a virus on my PC. Someone else gave me the link. But his chat was just cooking him the whole time.
Pedophile,
I didn't work. But I wasn't kidding. When that virus excuse didn't work, when Malwarebytes said, bro, you ain't got no virus. I don't know what you're saying right now. He actually tried to blame another streamer for supposedly giving him the link.
Why would you stream it?
Actually, Miskif linked it to me. He did.
Okay. Nice. That is absolutely defamation, and I will be suing you for that.
Ghost put those... Okay, first off, you're fucking...
But anyway, smash like and subscribe if Lakari is EDP's brother.
Life isn't the same as it used to be. Even though there's no such thing as normal, there was a type of normal that we all were used to. And now, the new normal feels so abnormal. I feel like everybody is just trying their best to adjust. Everything is so different nowadays, though. Nothing is the same. Even watching TV isn't the same. Going to the store isn't the same. I feel like interactions with people probably isn't really the same either. The topics of conversation that we have nowadays is just, everything is about the world ending. It's like the end of the world and God. Even for people who don't believe in God, it's still the topic of conversation. One day, we won't be here no more. And the way life is now, I think I'm okay with that.
Shalom, I hope you all are doing well. I am blessed and I'm back again with a quick video. I know I keep revisiting this subject matter, but I feel that it's important for us to understand what is taking place right now. There's a shift happening. The Most High is removing distractions because people have been focused on the noise of this world instead of what's true. And as those distractions fall away, people are going to have to confront reality in a way that they never have before. When the Most High begins to remove false supports, people feel unanchored because they were never meant to live rooted in artificial systems. Those systems were designed to distract, pacify, and keep people busy and not fulfilled. So when they weaken, it feels like reality itself is glitching. But what's really happening is a shift from illusion to truth.
Yo, man, I don't know what it is, man, but I'm starting to feel like I'm in a foreign place or something, bro. You know the feeling where you don't know where you at, but you want to go home? That's the feeling that I got, bro. I don't know about nobody else, bro, but I know I'm not the only one feeling like this, bro. It came out of nowhere. And I got this sense of wanting to go home, like to a better place. Everything's starting to feel foreign to me. I can't explain it. Like it's like I really can't explain it. But my heart is longing to go home. Like I feel like I don't belong here. Everywhere I go feels strange. Shit, even people starting to feel strange to me. Feel me? So that's how I know I'm in a foreign place. There's more life outside these walls, bro, and I know it for a fact because I feel it in my heart. And when I say walls, I mean the ice walls. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. I think that's the life that I'm longing for, outside the ice walls. I don't feel connected to this earth no more, man, and I don't know why. But yo, if y'all feel the same way, drop it down in the comments. Let me know how y'all feeling too. Make a video, tag me in it. I don't care what you do, but I want to know if I'm the only one feeling this way or not.
There's people here on this earth who understand, deep in their spirit, that this is not their true home. There's a people here on this earth who understands this. They might not really be able to articulate what they're feeling, but they know that there's something more that they're destined for. They recognize that this captivity is not just a physical limitation, but they understand that it's a condition of being placed inside a system that was never built on truth. Many of the chosen people feel an increasing pull away from this world, and not necessarily out of despair, but out of recognition, a knowing that this place is temporary, controlled, and constructed to feel permanent when it really isn't. We sense that there is more beyond what we've been shown, more than what we've been conditioned to accept as reality. Like the Truman Show, humanity has been trained to believe this environment is the whole world, when in fact, it is a contained system built on layers and layers of deception. There is an understanding, supported by ancient writings and the order of Scripture, that the earth has boundaries and that there are regions withheld from common access, and that what lies beyond them is not meant for the current age. The ultimate hope is not to escape through human means, nor discovery through fleshly exploration, but the arrival of the kingdom not built by man. A kingdom that descends from heaven itself, restoring what was hidden, correcting what was corrupted, and ending the reign of false systems. That's the hope. Many of us feel this approaching, not because we want to flee this earth, but because we know that this version of the world is not the original design. What we're sensing is remembrance. It's not a fantasy. And that remembrance is becoming harder to suppress. The Most High said in the end times, His chosen people would remember who they are, who He is, and will begin to listen to His voice. We're going through a time of remembrance. And it's not just the chosen people who are feeling this shift. The entire world is beginning to sense that something is wrong. People from every nation are waking up to the realization that the lives they've been living were built on emptiness and deception. The Most High is allowing the illusions to fall away so that all the nations can see the truth.
Is it just me, or does everything feel empty anymore? Like, even TV shows don't hit the same way. Like, nothing really hits the same anymore. Like, I really can't explain it. Just everything really feels off. Holidays don't feel the same. Nothing feels the same anymore. And I know I can't be the only one out there that feels like this. Like, nothing at all just feels real. People feel different. Like, everything just feels different. And I don't know why this is. I really don't. Because, back in the day when I was growing up, everything felt real. Like, you looked forward to stuff. Nowadays, it's like you're going through the motions with a lot of stuff. And again, I know I can't be the only one out there that's feeling like this. Like, everything just feels empty.
I really can't tell you how many times I've heard this. A lot of people are describing this season as a feeling of emptiness. Things that used to entertain them don't anymore. Television feels pointless. Going out feels forced. Even food doesn't satisfy the way it once did. And especially during the holidays, many are saying something feels off. Something feels missing. The joy, the excitement, and the meaning they remember just isn't there. And little do they know that emptiness, and this is what I'm trying to tell everybody, that emptiness is the result of false fulfillment being removed, leaving people face to face with the truth that pleasure, tradition, and routine were never meant to sustain the soul. How many of you really understand this? When pleasure, tradition, and routine becomes the foundation of your life, emptiness is inevitable. These things were never meant to carry weight or give meaning. They were meant to pass through life, not define it. That's why when distractions fade, people are left feeling hollow. And some of these traditions should have never been a part of our life. Many of them are satanic in origin. So then the soul begins to recognize that it has been surviving on substitutes instead of truth. What once felt comforting now feels repetitive, forced, and lifeless. What you all don't understand is that the Most High is playing chess, not checkers. He allows humanity for a time to believe it can replace him with systems, with pleasure, with knowledge, and with oneself. He doesn't immediately intervene because exposure requires patience. What people build in his absence is allowed to stand long enough to reveal its weakness. Again, what people build in the Most High's absence is allowed to stand long enough to reveal its weakness. And when those replacements fail, as they always do, the truth becomes undeniable. What was trusted collapses. What was idolized proves empty, and what was ignored is suddenly sought after. This is a strategy. Like I said, the Most High is playing chess, not checkers. What's unfolding now is the end of the illusion and the beginning of what was never optional in the first place.
The closer we get to the holidays, the less I even care anymore. Like seriously, what are we doing? None of this is the same. Everyone's out here acting like we're supposed to be excited, and I'm just sitting here thinking, like, for what? We say it's for the kids, cool, whatever, but I think everyone feels that weird heaviness underneath all of it. Like we're all just being pushed into this same holiday cycle where you're expected to spend money that you have. It's like, here, go be festive and broke at the same time. Merry Christmas, right? And like, have you noticed how everyone looks pissed off this time of the year? The roads are insane. People are driving like they don't even care if they make it to tomorrow. Like no one's actually present anymore. We're just rushing around, checking boxes, trying to make everyone look happy for one day so we can go back to being stressed the second the tree comes down. Like when did holidays become auditions? Like if you're not draining your bank account for decorations and gifts and food, suddenly you don't care or you're ruining Christmas. Like nah, I'm just tired of being a consumer. I'm tired of pretending. I'm tired of seeing everyone sprint full speed towards nothing just to say they did the holidays. We used to celebrate because we felt good. Now we celebrate because we're supposed to. And honestly, I'm over it.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that they're just tired of the holidays. They're just so worn out. But it's actually deeper than that. It's more than just a burnout. It's exposure. This is one of the things that the system built to distract, and it now exhausts. What once felt special now feels forced. And as we move into 2026, that fatigue is going to burn into confrontation. Vanity, lies, and man-made traditions are being weighed and they're coming up empty. These systems have ruined their welcome. People are tired, not just physically, but spiritually. And that tiredness is a sign that something false is being stripped away. What's coming isn't about to comfort anyone. It's about truth. And truth has never preserved illusions. It exposes them. Thank you all for listening, and may the Most High keep you all safe in this hour. And may He Baruch all deserving. Remember Matthew 24:13. He that endures until the end shall be saved. And until my next video, Shalom.
Something changed all of us in 2020. And yeah, I am talking about the pandemic, but not the virus part. I'm talking about what came with it. The fear, the lies, the constant chaos pumped through every screen like it was oxygen. That was the year that people stopped trusting, stopped believing, stopped feeling safe, even in their own heads. And it's wild because almost 6 years later, you can still feel that shift hanging in the air. Like something snapped in 2020 and never really healed. Time doesn't even move the same anymore. It's like the world hit pause, but somehow everything got worse in slow motion. Before all that, we actually thought we had control. We thought science had the answers. We thought the media had the facts, and leadership had some kind of plan. But then we watched them all contradict themselves over and over while telling us that we're the crazy ones. And now we're living in the aftermath of that gaslight. Everyone's divided. Everyone's drained. Nobody believes anything anymore. So yeah, something did change in 2020, and it wasn't just the world, it was us. We woke up, and the people who built the illusion, they've been panicking ever since. Because once the curtain gets pulled back, once you see the strings, you can't pretend that you don't.
I've definitely capitalized on it when it was cool, but right now a lot of people, they're regulating it, and what they're doing to regulate it is they're pretty much making it, it's like they're overinflating crypto by having too many people's hands inside of it. So when you got everybody's hands in the cookie jar, it gets a bit contaminated, right? You know, crypto's starting to feel like the dollar, because you could just out of thin air create a coin and boom, that's free money, right? It's free money, free bands, whatever. That's why we loved it, because it's to be honest, it's easy money. You're not, that was the first glitch in the matrix that we had in a while. But now with the rise of AI and stuff, and I've done my research, you can do it too, but a lot of things need gold. AI needs gold. What else? People need gold. A lot of energy sources need gold. So it's a lot of things that need gold. Let's take a little run, man. It's a lot of things that need gold. So, you know, if you're not really hip to the game, you might miss out on this opportunity. And I'm going to just be a good person and tell y'all, listen, man, don't miss out on this, because this might be one of the other last times we have opportunities to actually make a bag. That's why I'm not playing with this. Here's some ways you can invest in gold, right? 1, stock market. Robinhood, Webull, Tasty Trade, E-Trade, whatever. You can buy options. I know if you was an OG, you knew I was selling option courses. I'm not doing that no more, not because I can't. Maybe I will in the future, but I don't have the time to have the responsibility to look out for everybody by giving y'all alerts. But believe me, I've helped people make thousands back in the day, and it's, you know, I got some knowledge and wisdom from it. But one thing I'm gonna say is you could buy an option. Play the long game, because the short game, you don't wanna sell yourself too short now. And that's the problem. A lot of people with money, this is the mistake I made with crypto, right? And you don't want to do this with gold. Don't look for a quick flip. It should go up. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not perfect. Again, I'm not your freaking financial advisor, so don't sit here and be like, yo, you... Listen, no. But word on the street is gold should actually do some movements. And if it does, even though it's at an all-time high, this might be the new Bitcoin as far as the movements go for now, right? Once that happens, to capitalize, you want to think bigger here, because think about it this way. Like I said, the dollar is decreasing. The dollar's decreasing. There's too much going on with that. Too many things are ruining the aura of the dollar in real time. And you don't want to miss out on the fact that it could possibly deteriorate and you could invest in another asset. That's what a lot of people thought crypto was. Okay, let's talk about real estate. Yeah, you can buy houses, that's cool, that's cute.
And I mean, obviously, that's not going nowhere. That asset is never going to go away, but it takes a lot of money to do that. Some people could talk about taking out loans. It's more risk, right? Stock market. That's another thing. Stock market is still great. But, you know, if you do your research and realize 90% of people lose their money day trading, and people like quick money, it sort of defeats the purpose of you getting in it for quick money. You have to wait. And like I said, you play the waiting game. That's the best way to win. Statistically, most people just go away from that because of instant gratification. So you want to be able to at least take your time with this gold. I know we could talk about the S&P 500. That's another great example, but we don't know if a war might break out. Listen, Trump be doing stuff here and there. Trump literally controls the market, man. This guy could say one thing and everything will go sideways or go up. It's ridiculous. But gold is one of the few resources that sort of can't be, I mean, I'm not saying it can't be manipulated, but it's not manipulated as much. So with that being stated, you might as well get a little piece of that. That's just my thoughts. I'm not, again, an expert, but I'm going to definitely have some stake in it, and I'm going to also double down on investing. Have I made profits from it? Yes, of course. Nothing crazy, but when it gets crazy, I might just, again, double down. This is not no short-term investing play I'm talking about here. This is serious, and I just gave you all the reasons why it could be. Look at this nice thing right here. I like this right here. Let's get that scenery, man. And you see AI is taking over. Gold is also useful with AI. A lot of AI things are using gold. It's funny because I'm gonna put you on game, and I know I probably shouldn't do this because I'm gatekeeping a bit, but F it. What you're seeing me record on right now is a drone, right? If you want to buy it, link in my bio, F it. Click that link specifically. Yes, it's an affiliate link. Get Amazon Prime to be at your crib in 3 days or less. Get it before it sells out because it's lit. And the tariffs will make this go up. But this is an AI mother effing cameraman. AI and gold is important. Allegedly, gold is being used for a lot of AI projects, so don't sleep on it. And, things such as this. I don't know how much gold is in this device, but I'm sure it has gold. So stuff like that is the reason why you should invest. But hey, check this out, man. More music on the way, more art. You got some more blogs full of free game. Comment your thoughts below. If you are an expert, if you know what you're talking about more than me, let me know. Invest in gold. Like, share, comment, subscribe. This gig will be out. But it's another beautiful day, man. Let's get this scenery, this background. I love this joint, man. Hold up. This is serious, bro. Anyways, don't sleep on the gold, man. Get the gold. Stop playing.
Low battery. Return to home promptly.
That's it. I'm here.
It's real good to know God, but you better know the enemy. It's a great thing to know God, but you better know that devil. One of the biggest downfalls of God's people is that they don't know the devil. Especially when you talk to the older people. You talk to the older saints, the older church folks. Yes, they're saved. and they love God, blah, 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 but they have no idea what the devil is doing. And according to the scripture, you're not supposed to be ignorant about the devil. The scripture says we are not ignorant about Satan's devices. You need to know that devil. And for the people who think that Jesus paid it all, Jesus is going to take care of the enemy. We don't have to be concerned about the devil. There's a reason why the scriptures tell us to give no place to the devil. There's a reason the scripture tells us to submit to God and resist the devil, and he'll flee from you. It's not just all about Jesus taking care of the enemy in the end. You need to know the devil right now, before the end. And I know some people say, well, yeah, the devil don't want us going to church. When really, if you knew the devil, you would know that the devil loves for you to go to church. Some of the biggest deception going on earth is taking place in the church. The devil wants you to go to church because he knows he has more pastors than God. So it's not like the devil's thing is just to try to stop you from going to church. You don't know the devil. Then you got people who think, yeah, the devil comes against me to try to make me not pray, try to get me to stop praying. If you know the devil, then you know the devil don't mind you praying. He just don't want your prayer to be effective. And there's no way your prayer is going to be effective if you don't know the devil. And then there's the people who think the devil's number one thing is just to try to stop you from making it into heaven. The devil has bigger concerns, greater concerns than whether or not you are going to heaven or going to hell. All of that little preschool angel versus demon type deal, it's a whole lot bigger than that. You need to know who your adversary is. You need to know what your adversary is doing. And if you don't, all of your knowing God, knowing the Bible, all of your going to church won't mean a thing in the end, because not knowing the devil allows the devil to be able to take you out. And the devil is taking many people out and they don't even know it. The devil is deceiving the masses, and because they don't know the devil, they don't even realize they're being deceived. The devil is deceiving the mass majority of the church. And because the mass majority of the church don't know what the devil is doing, they don't even realize they're being deceived. They don't even know they're being changed. That's what your adversary wants to do. That's what the devil wants to do. Kill, steal, destroy. That's the mission. And a lot of people don't realize that right now, his main goal is to kill you, steal you from God, or destroy you. And the way he does those things is mainly by changing you over into something that God never created. The devil will change you over into something that can never enter heaven. You got to know the devil. What the devil's main thing has been and is today is to change your DNA. His main thing is to change you, change God's people into something that can never get into heaven. His main thing is to change God's people into something that God never created. And if you look at the things that's going on this earth, I mean, it's happening right in front of our faces. And so many people don't recognize it. But so many things have been put in place, have been set up to change us over, to change our DNA to where we're no longer what God created. And the only way you're not going to be changed is if you are in that secret place I talked about last week. If you are in God's system and you are doing the things that will come against the enemy's plan for your life, come against the enemy's plan for your body, for your mind, for your spirit. But if you're not doing these things, that is the protection that we have from the enemy, then his tactics are going to work and probably are already working on you. When you look at stuff like the chemtrails in the sky, this was just today. When you look at this stuff, a lot of people don't even realize that nanotech is being put into the atmosphere. And if you have no resistance to what the enemy is doing, don't tell me you won't be affected by this nanotech. It's being put into the atmosphere so you can breathe it in and it will change you over. So many won't listen. But there's a reason why you can just think about something and it'll pop up on your phone. There's a reason why you can have a conversation about something and your phone will pull it up. And a lot of people think, well, it's just cameras and it's just microphones and they can hear what you're saying. It's a lot bigger than that. These nanos are being put inside of people to make you more compatible with technology. You better know the devil. It's being put into the air so you can breathe it in and become more compatible with technology. It has been put into the drinking water so that you can ingest it and become more compatible with technology. These nanos, if you look it up, they're not even hiding it. All you have to do is look it up. They tell you that this stuff changes the DNA. This stuff will change your DNA. That's what it does. It's being put into the food so you can eat it and be changed into something that's more compatible with technology. This is what the adversary does. This is what the adversary is doing changing people over to what he wants them to be. Changing people over to do, to think, and to speak the way the devil desires you to do, to think, and to speak. Look at how crazy people are in this world now. People's minds are just gone. What happened to common sense? The devil. What happened to being filled with God, with the Spirit of God, to where we do, we think, and we speak the way God desires? The devil. What happened to man operating in power? The devil. What happened to the church being set apart? The devil. What happened to the difference that you could see between God's people and people who live for the devil? People have been being changed over for years, slowly but surely. And the devil does these things so slow until it's almost unrecognizable. And people just go on. So now we're having so much church, and we're having revivals, and we're praying, and we're giving, and we're running around, and we're praising. And people don't even realize that they are being changed over. People don't even realize that they're being made into something that can never enter heaven because they don't know the devil. The scripture says we should give no place to the devil. Don't let the adversary have any part of your thinking. Don't let the devil have any part of your speaking. Don't let the devil have any part in the things that you do. Give no place to the devil. But this world, Satan's system, has caused us to give place to the enemy. Now, instead of resisting the devil so that he'll flee, now we listening to whatever the devil wants us to listen to. We're watching on television whatever the enemy wants us to watch on television. We're keeping up with all the shows. We're staying up on all the movies. We're keeping in touch with all the actors, all the rappers, all the singers. We're so in tune with this world, we don't even realize we're getting out of tune, out of touch with God. We don't even realize we're being changed. But you better wake up. It's great to know God, but you better know the devil.
Welcome back to the channel. Share, subscribe, like this video, make sure you put your progress in the bottom. I'm going to have to do one program today, people. I know I said that yesterday, but I'm just trying to get people caught up. The reason I'm in a hurry and trying to get stuff done here, I've got 2 warm days. That's all I got to get everything done. This storm has shifted, and now it looks like we're going to get the catastrophic part here. It's looking like we're going to get the ice, which will be beyond devastation here, beyond. This place is bad enough as it is. I was just talking to my neighbor, and he agrees. If we do get the ice, we're always the last one to get our power turned on. We could end up with a whole month without power here. And 12-degree weather. Now, I'm fine here, no matter what happens. You don't have to worry about me here. I'm a survivalist before I got in. With Jesus waking me up about the rapture. That's what I've done. This house was set up to survive months without power. So it's got plenty of wood, plenty of gas. I mean, it's built to withstand in pretty much anything. That's why I set it up years ago. Me and my mom did years ago. As part of this plan. Because we had spent so much time without power, and still, yeah, it's going to be hard. And what I've got my aunt, which was ate up with COVID. She didn't even know the storm was coming. Some of the other people I take care of through the week, I ain't going to be able to take care of them. So right now, I'm making sure they have supplies, way to heat themselves, and I'm doing a million things at one time. If I don't do it, nobody else is going to come to me. I've already made sure today, I've already dropped off 3 packages of stuff for the homeless here. The best we could do. I've got stoves, tents. So, I mean, I've been on the run. So, I'm going to do one program, and I got to get my wood stocked and everything else, because, like I said, I'm running out of time. And I've only got 2 warm days to do it, today and tomorrow. That's it. And then Friday, it's going to turn cold again, and then it's going to be bitter cold for weeks. So, I've got to get this stuff done. Iran successfully tested first ICBM today. Iran has conducted the first ICBM test, launching a missile with 10,000 kilogram range towards Siberia with Russia's approval. With the missile, Iran will be capable of reaching the U.S. East Coast, including New York and Washington, D.C. And the reason why they did this, they made a threat, they let us know that not only they was going to take Trump out, but they was going to nuke America. That came out last night. That they're really talking about, and it's the only thing they can be talking about is a nuke, because they said America would burn their soul. So either they've gotten a nuclear weapon from Russia or China, which we've kind of figured they probably do, and that they're going to try to launch it this way. So if it ain't one thing, it's another at this point. If you're in the South, Arkansas, Alabama, Carolinas, you got to start preparing now. This is going to, let me tell you something, this is a catastrophe. This one's going to go down. I'm telling you the way it's looking. If it holds course the way it is, and that's why I tell everybody, pray, 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 pray. Any area, if you see it, you're in the pink, the power company's not coming to you. People think this is a joke. This is just going to be something fun to play in, but this is not that kind of storm. This storm is going to be bitter cold. There's no playing in it. When the power goes, it's going to be a catastrophe. That's why we're telling everybody to pray and pray and pray that this storm fizzles out before it happens. Because if it holds course right now, anywhere where you see the pink, power company's not coming. Okay, they're not coming. You could spend a long time. This is starting to look just like the one that happened in Texas. And I'm not trying to scare everybody. Just telling you to prepare. Don't be scared. Prepare. Make sure you have gas, flashlights, blankets, food in the house. Do it now. Do not wait till later. Go to Walmart, get a kerosene heater if you don't have one. Just make sure that when you use a kerosene heater, they're well vented. Okay, so you don't want to lock yourself in one room with one because you want it to be ventilated. Okay, these are the things you need to know to do. If you want to know more safety tips, you can actually look it up on YouTube and stuff like that. But right now is the time to get doing it, because I'm telling you, that's why I'm doing it. Because we're running out of time. The way that this thing is coming, it's coming quick. All right, let's see. Forecasters warn a potential catastrophic storm from Texas to the Carolinas. Forecasters are warning Americans to prepare that there could be a potential catastrophic winter storm, and it's starting to look that way all across the board. One of the many being heavy storms, ice, widespread power outages from Texas to the Carolinas and beyond. Meteorologists say surge of the Arctic air from Canada will clash with the moist air streaming up from the Gulf of Mexico, creating conditions ripe for a major winter event. The strongest impacts are likely to be including freezing rain and ice and sleet. If you get snow, you're fine. It's that old ice, and now that ice has moved up into my area, that it will come down first. Conditions that can knock out infrastructure and disrupt traffic. The storm's path remains somewhat uncertain. That's why I said right now, I'm just watching it. It could change by tomorrow. We could be back all to snow. We're not going to know anything for sure until Friday, but it's too late to prepare after that. So you got to prepare now, even if it's coming up. Texas, Arkansas, Georgia, and Carolinas and other states in the southeast could see more significant impacts. Freezing rain expected to start some areas early as Friday. As I said, we're not going to have much time to prepare. In addition to ice and snow, the storm could leave lingering cold temperatures in its wake. It's going to be a while before it warms back up. Officials in the affected areas are urging residents to prepare now, including having supplies on hand, planning for possible power outages and limited travel during the peak of the storm. Warnings and advisories from the National Weather Service are expected as the event draws closer, and local emergency management agencies are monitoring conditions closely. Like I said, you're going to prepare. You got to start now. Trump threatens 200% tariffs on French wine after France rejects the Board of Peace. Also the Gaza deal too, not the Gaza, but the Greenland thing. U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to impose 200% tariffs on French wine and champagne after France declined to join the proposed Board of Peace initiative designed to oversee the ceasefire in Gaza. President Trump's threat came after Paris communicated its refusal to participate on the board, expressing concerns that the body charter could undermine the role of the United Nations. The tariff threat would apply to iconic French wine exports, significant sector of French's their economy. It's pretty much all their economy, particularly given that the United States is one of their largest markets. So once again, Trump is threatening pretty much anybody that doesn't do what he tells them to do. Russia celebrating the growing NATO rift over Greenland, which I'm sure that they are. They're probably celebrating pretty big. Kremlin is openly welcoming a growing rift between NATO over the controversy surrounding Greenland, seeing it's a sign of weakening unity among the Western allies, which is exactly what Satan wants. Russian President Vladimir Putin has spent nearly 2 decades trying to undermine NATO, and pretty much Trump's done it all in a year. Now, a U.S. President Trump pushes for a greater American control over Greenland, a Danish territory. Russian officials are positively to the discord that has strived within the alliance. The dispute between Trump's reiterated his desire to bring Greenland under U.S. control, arguing that doing so would embrace the national security and bolster America's presence in the Arctic. In response to the operation from key European NATO members, Trump threatened tariffs on countries that have deployed troops to the island, a move deep in tensions between Washington and its traditional allies. European leaders fear that the fracturing unity on such fundamental alliances issues could weaken NATO. It's going to destroy it. See, we already know this happens. God's already doing this, that it's coming. All I can tell you is you need to be saved and saved now, because this is the end of the line. Trump responds to Iran death threats. Like I said, wipe them off the face of the earth. Donald Trump warned the United States would respond by overwhelming force if Iran were to ever carry out threats against his life, stating that he has issued a firm instructions to hit Iran so hard that Tehran would be wiped off the face of the earth. In an interview with News Nation host Katie Pavlovich, Trump was asked to address the reports of the Iran pro-regime forces continuing to take out their protesters and do all the horrible things they're doing to Iranian people. The president said such actions were unacceptable, which I agree, and emphasized that they have already directed U.S. military leadership to take decisive actions in the event that somebody was attack America. So in other words, what he's saying, if you attack America, if they even make the try to do it, they won't be in Iran to go back to. That's his personal mind. All right, so President Trump says Greenland is part of North America and its territory, and that's it. He's already put his foot down. Trump tells European leaders that without the U.S. in World War II, they would still be speaking German or a little Japanese. He's 100% correct. President Trump says Russian president wants to make a deal. That's not true. They're just waiting. President Trump says the U.S. will be attacking drug operations on land and not all out. Germany rejects invitation to join U.S. President Trump's Board of Peace. They're all, I can tell you, the alliances are really big and clear. It's not much. That's 100%. It's just not. The EU officially suspends trade deal with the United States. It's going fast. President Trump issues warning to Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that. I'm going to read that to you again. Canada lives because of the United States. This talk, I've heard it before. Denmark rejects U.S. demand for negotiate takeover of Greenland. Trump tells European leaders they could all be speaking German without the United States. Finland's President Alexander Stubb says European can defend itself without the United States. That's not true. They will fall apart very quickly. They don't stand a chance. We are 90% of NATO. They don't have a force. They're a joke. NATO Chief Mark Rutte to discuss U.S. takeover of Greenland with President Trump. Argentina's President Milei declares that international left-wing official is dead. Let's see. China says the world cannot return to the law of the jungle where the strong crown the weak. I tell you, that's the scripture. Nothing stopping it at this point. U.S. President Donald Trump responds after Denmark rejects negotiations on Greenland. Tell me that to my face, is what he said today. Trump cancels European Union tariffs after agreeing to the framework for a deal on Greenland. Well, the way it said that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I think he just made it up. Putin says Russia is ready to contribute $1 billion to President Trump's border peace. So that's big for brother Ronnie and John. So if they're watching this, he has agreed to the $1 billion to President Trump's border peace, John and Ronnie and Greenland. Watchmen for that great day. So today is the 21st, guys. He agreed to it today that he will contribute $1 billion to Trump's border peace. So he will be joining the board. Make sure that John and Ronnie know that. President Trump says the United States will be involved in Greenland's mineral rights under the framework of a new deal. President Putin says U.S. stance on Greenland ownership is no concern to Russia.